Thank you. This is... gee, I forgot my name. This is the first time I haven't walked out of the show 1 minute before. It's an unprecedented situation, but I quit. This is Oscar Levant, the irreligious Billy Graham of Los Angeles. And I'm worn out and I can't think, talk, or breathe. And what an irresistible combination of events. This is a momentous occasion for me, and I'm a little hysterical about it. And before I go on, I want to present my beautiful, lovely, and, should I say, poised, tolerant wife, June Levant. I married an angel. I know that this chance will be awfully good for me. There's a play by George Bernard Shaw called Doctor's Dilemma, in which a character named Dubedat reminds some people of me, and you'll be happy to know that he dies in the third act. And before he dies, this is his last utterance. He says, I believe in Michelangelo, Velasquez, and Rembrandt. And these three great genius painters is the simplest, unprepossessing way I can present my marvelous, historically wonderful guest, the greatest song and dance man in history, a charming, an incomparably charming man, and a great, great, great artist, Fred Astaire.
Thank you very much. Hello. Thanks ever so much, Oscar. That's too much, you know?
I feel that it wasn't enough.
No, I know.
Will you forgive me for one moment? Miss Ethel Barrymore, through an emissary, Herbert Byers Swope, Jr., who is listening in tonight, I'm quite honored. She, I think, listens in. We paid her a minor tribute with Hedda Hopper last week, and she asked if I would play a little Bach for her tonight, and that's the only distraction we'll have.
A little Bach?
Bach.
Oh, Bach.
Johann Sebastian Bach. So I shall play. I didn't know what to play. I haven't had time to play Bach, and my daughter Lorna suggested I play a little bit of the Italian concerto. You're a great friend of Ethel's, aren't you?
Yes, I am indeed.
And you speak to her occasionally on the phone.
Yes, I do. She heard you last week, and she said she enjoyed it very much when you played Chopin, when Hedda Hopper was here.
Well, she wants Bach. I'll play a little of the Italian concerto. Fred, I wouldn't know where to begin with you. You're one of my heroes, my two heroes. You're incomparable. You have no peer. You've introduced and inspired more great songs than anybody of our time, including Gershwin, Kern, Berlin, Humans. Who did I leave out?
Well, I don't know.
Cole Porter. I always leave him out. It's a terrible
I'm
oversight.
sort of unconscious, you don't mind. I mean, I'm listening to these, you know, these very wonderful compliments. You know, me.
Can I recall the first time I saw you, which was in Lady Be Good, and the first 4 bars I ever heard or saw you sitting in the gallery was the first show George and Ira Gershwin collaborated on, book show.
Mm-hmm.
And you did this.
If you hang on to me while I hang on to you, we'll dance into the sunshine out of the rain forever and a day. My sister Donna.
Your sister Adele sang that.
Yeah. Well, I sang it with her.
I am suddenly mute. I just want to announce that this is a spectacular that is conceived, written, and ad-libbed, rehearsed by me, and even the set is designed by me. These 2 stools on which Mr. Astaire and my wife are sitting are from my bar, because...
Your bar?
Well, I don't drink, but we have a bar.
Oscar's Bar and Grill.
The truth is, Channel 13 is a Trappist monastery in disguise.
Oh, brother.
The song that evokes the deepest memory for me was a song by George and Ira Gershwin from a picture called... I'm trying to refer to, you can't take that away from me. You talk about it, will you?
Oh, yes. Wait a minute. It was, I never remember what pictures these
Shall we
were in.
dance?
Oh, yes, that's right.
With Ginger.
That's right.
The ubiquitous Ginger. She was always with you for many years.
I'm very glad to see
Incidentally, it also was in a picture that I was in, which starred Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers. Camera, move in. It's my name, not Fred's. Fred's is always a big name. Mine is always featured. Can you see it? Take an hour. It's okay. Okay.
The way you wear your hat, the way you sip your tea, the memory of all that. No, they can't take that away from me. The way your smile just beams, the way you sing off key, the way you haunt my dreams. No, they can't take that away from me. We may never meet again on the bumpy road to love. Still I'll always keep the memory of the way you hold your knife, the way we danced till 3, the way you've changed my life. No, they can't take that away from me. No, they can't take that away from me. They can't take that away from me.
I got away with it. You know, I remembered to breathe that time. That's the kind of a singer I am. I forget to breathe and I get stuck down there.
You'll do better not breathing than most people do. Everybody does breathing. This is one of those interruptions that is hardly necessary in this wonderful world we're living in. And it's a wonderful product and a very charming man who does these announcements, Standard Car Leasing.
Good evening. My name is Erman Pessis, and I'm speaking for Standard Car Leasing, where you can get any Cadillac of your choice by the year on a low monthly rental fee, which is much less in cost than owning your own car. Thank you.
Again, it'll restore your confidence.
Thank you, Mr. Levant. Crestview 4, 8822.
You know that Christopher Isherwood is writing a poem with Crestview. What's the number?
Well, I wrote a poem, too, for
I don't want to hear your poem. I have no time. Mr. Isherwood, you'll pardon me. I'll discuss your poetic talents some remote time. After the show, I'll apologize. I'm in a hurry because Mr. Astaire, who usually gets $300,000 for an appearance, incidentally, it's his first appearance on television as far as singing is concerned. And naturally, he chose me because he not only is not getting anything from me, not the $300,000, but he needs, what's the name of that commercial we have? Executive toilet water. He has no after-shaving lotion, and he hasn't got time to go to a drugstore, and that's why he's here. One other thing, Fred, about Barclays. It's being shown this week on KTTV, Channel 11, and if it's not on tonight, I'm on. Look at it. I saw the trailer. We were great in it.
I liked that. I loved Barclays. It was a swell picture.
Joan, tell about how Mr. Astaire came to visit us about this show. Yeah.
Well, yesterday morning, I was in bed, and I heard the...
What? Wait a minute.
I was in bed, and I heard the doorbell ring, and the maid was didn't show up yesterday morning.
He broke her arm. I've had coffee in 3 days.
And Oscar was playing the piano. I heard him downstairs, so I put my robe on and I ran downstairs, and I opened the door, and there was Fred Astaire, and he was singing "The Way You Wear Your Hat."
I was practicing on the way
It
in
was
and out.
just
and
on the
everything.
doorstep. It was just so wonderful. Is that what you want me to tell? And I said, "Don't look at me."
Anyway, that's what they can't take that away from him, your unmade face. Let's get on, Fred. In that same show, the first show I saw was Lady Be Good. Did you sing this?
Lady Be Good? No. My sister, Adele, did that with Walter Catlett. Walter Catlett sang it.
He was a wonderful comedian.
Oh, yeah.
Can you recall the way he sang it?
Well, he was the old, oh, sweet and lovely. I mean, just like that.
Do a few bars.
Well, oh, sweet and lovely lady. I mean, God, that's, the pipes are bad enough. Now, that's not...
No, that's wonderful. Now,
oh, sweet and lovely lady, be good. Oh, lady, be good to me. I am so awfully misunderstood. So, lady, be good to me. Oh, have some pity. I'm all alone in this big city. I tell you, I'm just a lonesome babe in the woods. So, lady, be good to me. Oh, sweet, lovely lady, be good. Oh, lady, be good to me. I am so awfully misunderstood. So, lady, be good to me. Oh, please have some pity. I'm all alone in this big city. And I tell you, I'm just a lonesome babe in the woods. So, lady, be good to me. All right. Alone in this big city, and I tell you, I'm just a lonesome babe in the woods. So, lady, be good to me. Yeah, that's all right.
I'm a little overexcited. I'm going to take a saliva test. I'll be right back. And meantime, I'd like Fred to play a little piano. He plays blues.
Oh, no, wait, hold on.
It's the one milieu I can't play. Relieve me and play some blues in your own inimitable style.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding. You're a wonderful piano.
Oh, you know, you just gotta sort of... You asked for it.
I begged for it.
Next.
My name is Cootie Williams. What's your name?
Barney Kessel.
We're doing, what's the name of that radio television show? My name is Cootie Williams.
Oh, tell the truth.
Tell the truth. Only the real Cootie Williams has to tell the truth. Fred, you may be miffed at what I'm going to suggest. You know, Ira Gershwin told me last night that Sam Goldwyn, on account of your presence here tonight, was going to look in. I know that's an overwhelming honor, but they're up. And he is a great old producer. He's the greatest pioneer producer left. He's a distinguished, wonderful producer who's had wonderful, magnificent pictures, and he survived every era. And I know you know him well. He complained about your reluctance to visit lately.
What?
So I'm going to order you to do something.
I'm going to go right now.
I want you to imitate Mr. Goldwyn You know, you appeared in the last two scores that George Gershwin wrote, Shall We Dance and Damsel in Distress with Joan Fontaine. And there was one other score after he died, which was the Goldwyn Follies, which Mr. Goldwyn produced. And in this show, in the picture, was the last song George Gershwin ever wrote, which was Our Love Is Here to Stay. And please, and I order you, do an imitation of Mr. Goldwyn in the event he sang the song. He doesn't sing, as you know, but imagine this.
But, well, what, may I get this straight? You want me to give an imitation of Sam singing that song?
This marvelous, wonderful
Sam,
song.
Please. Sam, help me. Wait a minute. No, I don't know the words.
I have it written down.
Sam knows I love him very much, and I know Sam has a great sense of humor. So, Sam.
We'll have to.
Oh, Sam, please.
I wrote these lyrics because Mr. Astaire never has sung this song.
I find it impossible to refuse anything Oscar asked me to do, so that's what, you know, so anyway. It's very clear our love is here to stay, not for a year, but ever and a day. The radio and the telephone and the movies that we know may just be passing fancies and in time may go. But oh my dear, our love is here to stay. You know what I mean? Together we're going a long, long way. I want to do good pictures, Oscar. In time, the Rockies may crumble, Gibraltar may tumble. They're only made of clay. I think I'll have a role for you in my next musical, Oscar. But our love is here to stay. I'll call Jean Negolesco and we can play some croquet afterwards, huh? If you don't want to play croquet, we can play some gin. Oh, well, we'll see. Anyway, in time the Rockies may crumble, Gibraltar may tumble. They're only made of clay, but our love is here to stay. You are a one.
Unfortunately, many of our audience doesn't know the gregarious Sam Goldwyn because it's impossible to meet him. He lives like an ex-king of Spain. We will now have Anderson for headaches, toothaches, and anything that I create by my being on the show. It's a cure for anything I do. What time do we go on? Oh. On the way into the studio, I drove Mr. Astaire down, and we walked in. The sole of my shoe started to flop around and flap around, and it was surgically removed. But this is a memento. I'm going to send this to Adlai Stevenson for him when he runs in 1960, and he needs all the help he can get. I hate to evoke sentimentality, but actually I like nothing better. But a wonderful friend and a great man, a friend of Mr. Astaire's, June, and my own, is going to celebrate, I think, as the songwriter says, he's going to hit 70th Street. You know who I'm talking about. Take it.
Irving?
Yeah.
Irving, Berlin. Yes, his birthday is on the 9th, isn't it?
Of May.
Of May, yeah.
He's going to hit 70th Street and Broadway.
Yeah.
And you're hitting, what?
I'm hitting Herald Square.
No, Herald Square.
On the 10th. The day following.
It's birthday.
No, I'm lying a little bit. We get up around Columbus Circle. That's it.
Wow.
That's it, right on the nose, isn't
It
it?
is. A bit of 59th Street. That's quite
I may have to
circle.
explain that to a few people who don't live in New York.
Well,
what street is it?
The songwriters in Lizzie.
59th Street.
Yeah, when you're 59 years old, you're on 59th Street. And Mr. Berlin will be on 70th Street. And another birthday is May 6th. Tchaikovsky. My mother made me crazy with her love for Tchaikovsky. And fortunately, no, all right, that's enough about Tchaikovsky. June and Fred, on account of Mr. Berlin, I want to ask Fred to do a song. I don't think it was a big hit, the Change Partners and Dance, was it?
Well, I think it was played a lot. It was always
A favorite of mine. I think it's a marvelous lyric.
You like it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the whole tune and everything about it I like very much.
What picture?
Oh, dear.
Carefree,
Here we go.
carefree.
That's right.
June, just before we go in, the Berlins are very good friends of ours. Just talk about Mr. and Mrs. Berlin a little.
Well, Oscar had known the Berlins for many years, and when we got married, they were terribly sweet to me. And Ellen...
Unlike me,
Well, no, but going to New York to live, and Ellen Berlin is really a wonderful woman. She's very intelligent and writes extremely well, and I had enormous admiration and respect for her. And she used to give me lots of advice, which I took because it was very good. And they had 3 daughters, and...
Still have, I'm glad to see.
That's right. And she did say, I remember when we first married, she said to me, now, June, she said, Irving and Oscar should only have daughters. After all, they're not mechanical-minded, and they don't like to make little airplanes and kick footballs around, and it's very good for them to have daughters. And so I took advice, and we had 3 daughters. And as a matter of fact, Irving was tried to be helpful, too, because he'd always suggest names for the girls when they were born, and it always seemed to be the names of his own daughters that he'd suggest. And it was sort of a coincidence that our oldest daughter, their daughters are named Mary Ellen, Linda, and Elizabeth. And by coincidence, really, our oldest daughter is named Marcia, and our middle daughter is named Lorna. But by the time we had the 3rd one, I was wildly independent, and I named her Amanda, which had nothing to do with...
Actually, June wanted to name all 3 Amanda, and I wasn't in favor of the name, and I said before Amanda, who's a wonderful little girl, before she was born, I said, even if it's a boy, you can call him Amanda. I was so proud.
Yes, but the doctor said to me when I got a girl, he said, well, you didn't get the boy, but you got Amanda.
Amanda's worth...
That's great.
My daughters, I wouldn't trade for all the boys, although they would, but... Well, I mean, they should like boys. I don't happen to, let's do, There I go again, the trumpets blow.
All ready.
Must you dance every dance with the same fortunate man? Can't you see you've danced him?
No, once more. Start.
Must you dance every dance with the same fortunate man? You have danced with him since the music began. Won't you change partners and dance with me? Must you dance quite close with your lips touching his face? Well, can't you see I'm longing to be in his place? Won't you change partners and dance with me? Ask him to sit this one out, and while you're alone, I'll tell the waiter to tell him he's wanted on the telephone. You've been locked in his arms ever since heaven knows when. Won't you change partners, and then you may never want to change partners again.
No trouble with that one. I can't remember these words. Thank you.
The most important moment of tonight, a station break. They seem to think this is momentous. However... such memories to me, and of you, that I am unable to speak, which is the greatest public service anybody's ever done. Now I'm going to ask you something, and I'm going to break my promise. You said you wouldn't dance, you wanted to relax. Is that true?
Well, it isn't I want to relax. There just isn't any place to dance, Oscar. You know, I mean, I'd do anything for you, but I swear, you know, old Dad here, whenever a dance routine comes up, he begins to fume and fret and worry, and I just don't want to look too bad. I'd do anything for you but dance tonight, you know.
Well, I'm going to press on because at this moment, what's the use of kidding? The whole world is waiting for this moment for you to dance, and the whole world, as far as this station is concerned, goes as far as Bakersfield. Do you know that we're going to be recognized as the 49th state someday? Anyway, please dance. And I'm going on my broken torn ligament knees to beg you.
I won't dance. Don't ask me. I won't dance. Don't ask me. I won't dance. Oscar for you. Really, I mean, you know, this was a lyric about a girl, or I sang it to a little girl named Ginger. And I better start over again. And
you know, I was in a picture with you and Ginger, as I mentioned before, Barclays.
Yeah.
And you know, during that picture, the music...
Barclays?
Barclays on Broadway.
The Barclays of Broadway.
You're the first man who ever dared correct me in public.
I had a hard time getting it out, too.
But at any rate, if you remember, Ginger had this maternal compulsion, which I've never had since, where she brushes the cigarettes and the dandruff, the only relic of middle age I have, and other things that seem to accumulate on my clothes. And it annoyed me, and I once pushed her arm away. Did she ever do that to you?
What? You mean brush? Oh, yeah, I always had a lot of dandruff, you know, and she
You're on for those dandruff days.
I don't brush you off. I run the vacuum cleaner over you. So.
While we're on the subject of you and Ginger, may I stand, Mr. Flanagan, head of Channel 13? I want to relax. You know, the series of pictures you did with Ginger at Occhio really have become a historical series. As a matter of fact, they're playing every museum in the world right now.
Great.
And I would be very curious to know your opinion of your favorite picture of that wonderful series.
Well, my favorite, hard to figure out favorites, you know. Each one that we did, I always thought might have been the best one. I didn't know, but looking back on it, I think maybe I like Top Hat the best. It might be the favorite.
By Irving Berlin.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
My favorite was Irene and Vernon Castle, the story of.
Well, I must say I like that one, too. That was a more serious story than anything we did.
What was your favorite, June?
My favorite? Well, actually, I love all the Astaire pictures, but I think I'm slightly prejudiced. I preferred the Barclays of Broadway because you were ill.